No-gi grips. 4 self grips for people that are used to gi and don't feel comfortable with no-gi grips. And then I'll do another section on people that are used to catch wrestling or Western wrestling that don't feel comfortable in the gi, that are used to no-gi grips. So you can transition both directions. Okay. 4 self grips. There's more. We'll start with 4 basic. S grip, gable grip, either left and right. S grip, left and right. Gable grip, S grip, both sides. Western wrestlers, particularly Greco, suplex techniques use this. Greco-Roman. Fist and wrist here or here. You can also clip on to like a monkey grip, or you can do a grab, wrist control, fist and wrist grab, and then German suplex or whatever. So S grip, gable grip, fist and wrist, and butterfly, left and right. Yeah, fist and wrist. S grip, gable grip for like the square grip, the judo style, rear naked, square style. Yeah, gable grip. S grip 1, gable grip 2, fist and wrist 3, butterfly 4. Okay, four basic. You can go into more detail, but we'll just start on 4 basic self grips. They're the self grips. You can also grab yourself monkey grip or monkey clip here for certain types of chokes and things here as well. Clip onto here for certain types of chokes. You can do, but in terms of grabbing your own arm and hand, those are 4 basic self grips. Let's go through them again one more time. S grip, gable grip, fist and wrist grip, for example in Greco-Roman, for rear clinch and things. Butterfly grip, yeah, for not a complete total full on list, but just a basic list, basic introduction. So 4 basic self grips for no-gi for people that feel a bit dodgy, with a bit uncomfortable with the idea of no gi grips because they're used to gi grips because they've started. Because if you started in gi for a very long time, you're used to that, and it might feel bizarre. And the same for Western wrestlers, it might feel bizarre doing a gi grip. So those are 4 self grips for no gi. Then, really you need a partner, but try. So underhook, you can go higher. Underhook, overhook. Yeah, sometimes whizzer if you want to do a joint lock. So underhook, overhook, collar tie here, collar tie, that's single collar left and right, collar tie, tie grip, tie boxing grip, or plum collar. I'll just call it tie boxing grip. Okay, so that's a double collar tie, kind of. Yeah, you can do left top or right top. Don't lock your fingers because of dislocations and people straining out of it. So just that's what you taught anyway. Just to here and here. Tie grip. Very effective for me because I can use my core, and yeah, so percentage wise, because of my legs, so I'm more of a leg fighter than arm fighter. Not like I don't have the biggest giantest hands in terms of hand power, so I can use my core and my hips and my legs and my thighs with this tight grip to sink in, and I've had good effect with that in scenarios. Very good effect. It's not for everyone, but it can work for certain people. Tie grip, left and right. Collar tie is single, single collar tie, or me grabbing a partner, collar tie, left and right, or left or right, because it's a single grip collar tie from Western wrestling. So collar tie, Thai boxing grip, or plum collar. So it's a single collar, double collar. Yeah, Western wrestling collar tie, Thai boxing plum collar grip. Then underhook, overhook, and they've got over under, left and right, or under over, however you want to describe it. Over under over. Then there is also the Greco-Roman style grip from the front, double overs, front suplex, which I think is really dangerous on the neck. And I don't want anyone to hurt the neck, so I don't know how we make stand-up safe, but that's a very, very important concern in Ludo and in Western wrestling and in Greco-Roman. Otherwise, everyone will just quit stand-up and go to BJJ, and everyone will lose their customers in the other systems, and that's not good, because then styles die off and styles go extinct, and that's not good for those systems. So let's try and make stand-up safe and accessible. And then there's a good framework, there's a good infrastructure. It's not just a tiny percentage of people doing it. There's a good general infrastructure. Otherwise, as I say, those systems will die off, like certain TCMA, traditional Chinese martial arts, died off for multiple reasons. Okay, so systems can go extinct like languages, and we don't want that. So let's make stand-up safer and accessible. So bear hug from the front, it's the same as the rear clinch, but from the front, so you can get double overs, double unders, but bear hug, belly to belly suplex, or if you want to call it a reverse German suplex. So instead of it from behind, it's from front, but it's here. It may be what's called in Greco-Roman the salto throw. I am not sure, because I've never fully studied Greco-Roman. So I think it could be a salto, possibly. A Greco-Roman practitioner will correct me on that. So it's the same grip. So from the rear, it's German suplex. From the front, it's belly to belly, but same fist and wrist that we used before. So double overs, and you can do it double unders as well. Double overs is good because you block their hands. But as I say, we've got to be very, very careful. We don't want to damage anyone's neck, because that's very serious. So we have to make a way where stand-up is a good workout and is also safe. How we get that balance, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So these grips again: underhook, overhook, or whizzer. Here. Collar tie from Western wrestling, plum collar from Thai grip. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here. Okay. Right. And then you bear hug, double overs. Then we have wrist control. Just basic here, wrist control. This widening here of the shuto, the knife hand area, and the ridge hand area, the high toe. So this widening area of the hand will lock in, just like the bone here will lock in when you do tricep control or elbow control. These are like, it's almost like a human gi. The human bone structure has a sort of inbuilt kind of gi handle system, if you want to look at it that way. Okay. Here, I learned this from a Triple J practitioner, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. Here, and there's a bit here, but this one very good. Here, yeah. Probably big kind of people, the muscle's more blunt, it's not as bony, so you can just do china, the pinching, or the eagle fist or tiger fist on the thing here, and nails and chinna, which is missing from BJJ massively, and from jiu-jitsu in general. It seems to be the thing that is missing is chinna, real chinna. I'm not talking about Hollywood flying in trees and things. Real chinna, the grappling arts of TCMA. So tricep grip, this bone here. If you can't, as I say, use chinna and do a claw fist, eagle fist in here. But if you can get these handles, it's these sort of ring finger and middle. You can get these thumb and middling fingers, and that's the handle. Then the wrist control is a handle. So wrist control, tricep control, or elbow control, tricep control, depending how you want to, what name you want to give on it. Okay, doesn't really matter. Elbow control, tricep control. Okay, so that's 2 tricep controls, 2 with these handles. Wrist control 1, tricep control 2, aka elbow control, with the natural bone there. That gives you that handle, like a Faux gi or a surrogate gi, if you want to think of it, or a pseudo gi, a Faux gi. From the French FAUX, like Faux leather, yeah, imitation Faux gi. So here, 1, wrist control, elbow control, tricep control. 2, reverse wrist control. Here, like a underhand grip, okay? Like you would use for a lengthways uppercut, not a curved uppercut, a lengthways uppercut. Yeah, same style. Underhand or reverse wrist control. Normal wrist control, reverse wrist control. Elbow control, tricep control, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so overhand wrist control, tricep grip, reverse wrist control. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Collar tie, Thai boxing grip, plum collar, aka. Yeah. So the single one is Western wrestling, double Thai boxing. I know there's crossover. I get that. I'm just trying to use basic analogies here. So single collar tie Western wrestling, plum collar Thai boxing grip. Here, wrist control, reverse wrist control, elbow grip, aka tricep grip. Yeah, and we've got underhook, we've got overhook, aka whizzer. Right, again, I know some people make a subtle difference there, but again, I'm just trying to do a basic introduction. Underhook, overhook, wrist control, elbow control, reverse wrist control, collar tie, plum collar, aka Thai boxing grip. Then we've got the here, this left and right, and we've got the self grips. If you want to rewind the video from before, S grip, gable grip, suplex grip or fist wrist grip, and butterfly grip. These are the self grips. Again, there are here and here and here, but we'll move on to that. But just these are the basics grips. Yeah, and then there's well, I think I've never studied it in a class. Okay, so this is just from amateur research. That's all that is from that point of view, from that POV. Okay, so from my understanding of it, you've got in Western wrestling what's called the front headlock, which is a sort of like a no-gi grip with the arm, and you kind of get your arm, the crook of the elbow around the head, kind of thing, and then you can do throws from there. Again, I'm not a practitioner of Western wrestling. Someone will know much better. This is just an introduction to basic no-gi grips, okay, from my POV. For people that are coming from gi grips that feel nervous about no-gi grips because they are bizarre. If you're not used to them, they might feel very bizarre and very weird. Okay, so from that angle, from coming from the gi angle, and the same with Western wrestlers coming into the gi grips. Okay, and that's another video. So this one is for people that are, started for long-standing time in gi grips, that are coming over to no gi, that feel off put by no gi grips, okay, or feel like it's psychologically off-putting or whatever. Okay, so this is a basic introduction to them. Again, rewind the video if you want to see them and replay those sections. Okay, then that should do as a basic intro to no gi grips from my POV, and using my right-brained creativity. Again, from that POV, from that angle of looking at it. Okay, I'm sure there are millions of other ways people can. This is the John way of doing it. John Jitsu, if you want. But so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Then, if we're trying to do certain types of chokes, like you see, you can grab here, self grips again, and you can grab here, and then you can, here for guillotine or Darce anaconda and things. Again, by no means an expert. This is grips. This isn't strangles and chokes or arm bars or arm locks or anything here. It's just, basic no-gi grips from the John POV. You might be Ebigarami, judo's version of the guillotine strangle. I'm pretty sure it's called Ebigarami, and you can, from no-gi, be here, and you can do here, but you can grip here and here and choke. This is a really strong one here, but let's say your arm gets stuck and you can't quite reach, you can clip here onto the tricep, because, as I say, maybe they're pulling or whatever, and there's a reason, there's some kind of reason, your posture maybe, again, or their blocks, where you just can't quite reach this clip on onto the shoulder, then you can clip onto here. Okay, same left-handed and right-handed, same thing. Okay, so yeah, again, it's basic ideas. It works with kata hajime single wing strangle. So no gi, you can kind of monkey grip and kind of chin out, like pinch it. You don't have to. You can just clip and then cut round with this thumb, this bone here, this ridge hand bone, and this thumb area, and this bony part, and you can kind of cut to simulate a gi. So you clip on and you kind of rub or scrape to simulate. Clip on here, you bring that round, and then the other one, obviously, just a standard, the arm wing, just like you would in the gi. Yeah, the only difference is you clip on instead of grabbing the jacket. You clip on onto this area, onto this muscle area, or, as I say, you can kind of feel like a rock climbing kind of grip if you want. But yeah, just get some kind of anywhere here that's slightly secure, and cut round. Yeah, slice round, and then obviously, as I say, the other hand, kata hajime, single wing strangle. The other hand is the same position as it would be, up and behind, and there. Yeah. So here and here, left and right. Yeah. And all the other under, over, whizzer, collar tie, plum collar. Yeah. Self grips. Yeah. Then wrist control, elbow control, tricep control. Okay. So a difference with the gi would be the distance. Yeah. So and you can shoot from Western wrestling. There's the shoot in, the dive in, from single leg, double leg, etc., ankle pick, etc. So that's a longer distance than gi. The shooting range to shoot in for the throw, for the leg grab. But the distance from an nogi grip, it is a shorter distance than from a gi grip from standing position. So because obviously if you've got here, you can essentially be at Western boxing range. You can essentially have here and lock out. If you want to defend or do an offensive, whichever one you want to do, you can essentially be at punching range, Western boxing range. You can't really do that with no gi, with the exception of wrist control, which will always eventually get stripped. So you put that in your mind, But these hand fightings here, like here, hand fighting kind of things, like that with people can if you've got long hands, it can be like that, but that's more an outlier than the general rule. Although, as I say, that can exist, so that can be a sort of like the length of a gi, but it's never as secure. It will get stripped eventually. It's never as secure as gi grip. So in general, it's longer range. In the gi, you can be essentially at Western boxing range. You can't at no gi in general, 90% of the time. So the ranges are closer, unless you want to go from shooting. But if we're talking about having grips, because shooting is shooting in for the leg grabs is not a grip. It is when you close in, but it starts from an open position. So how can I say? It's a slightly shorter range in general. Yes, with the exception of someone that's got really long hands, then yes, they can do wrist control and hand fighting and kind of be at long range. But again, that's an outlier, not the general rule. In general, shorter range with no-gi grips. So just be aware that it's a slightly shorter range, and that's really, I'd say, your biggest point on step one. That's the biggest thing. Don't be put off by the grip. They're not super scary. I know it can feel like that. If people have been have never done them before, have never seen them before, or they come across as really bizarre. But I don't know. Don't put yourself off from it. It's really not. What do they call it? It's not. Absolute rocket science. It's not. It's just translations, just like in the Cali Filipino system. You have weapons to empty-handed blade translations, so knife cut to elbow cut, or knife thrust to straight punch, things like that. You have translations. Well, these are just translations, gi and no gi. Okay, so and start with throws that directly translate. So ogoshi is the most directly translatable throw, because you underhook, you can grab belt, but really it is a hug. It's a no-gi hug. So Ogoshi is the most translatable no-gi throw, one of the most, and you've got headlock throw, kubi-nagi, and koshiguruma. All those kind of huggy throws, haregoshi, things like that. Yeah, so huggy kind of throws, hip throws are the most translatable because you don't need to think, you just hug and you throw. Seoinage as well. Yeah, but this arm, once you've got this arm, that one, it'll instinctively come. So hip throws and Seoinage. Start with them. They're the most translatable. And the most translatable out of them all, or one of the most translatable, is Ogoshi. Because once you've got your own underhook, you hug. It's self-explanatory what you do. You don't need, it's not like doing Marty Seoinage, yeah, which requires a gi, or Eri Seoinage, or Yama Arashi, yeah, which require all these gi grips. Ogoshi is completely self-explanatory, and Seoinage is as well. Ippon Seoinage, you can just grab here and pinch in. Yeah, that it's kind of self-explanatory. As I say, Eri, Marathi, they're more gi style, but don't go into them. Ogoshi and Seoinage, Ippon Seoinage, yeah, those are really good ones. And Osotogari, yeah, you'll don't be put off by it. Don't be put off by it. Yeah, it's just simple. Yeah, just imagine it's like a sleeve grip. Yeah, you've got sleeve grip, you've got wrist control. Yeah, or you've got sleeve grip, you've got elbow control, tricep control. Yeah, the only difference is it's not in the middle as it would be. Yeah, but it doesn't translate perfectly all the time, 100% of the time. Okay, but just think sleeve grip, wrist control, or sleeve grip, elbow control. Okay, yeah. And that's it. That's it. Just hug and hip throw, things like that. Hug and just do basic things. Just do big gross motor movements. Don't think about, oh, this grip and that grip and this gi and this is no gi, and that'll mash your brain in and you'll feel all bad and you won't have any morale for doing the technique. And that's the worst place you can ever be, because I've been in it 1,000 times with Uchimata where my back's there and I don't want to get uranagi, and it's the morale, as anyone in the Western military will tell you, morale is the worst. When the morale sinks, when the morale's gone, it's the worst thing. Mental toughness, psychological toughness in sports combat, very, very, very vital to any system. The non-physical and metaphysical aspect, extremely vital. It's like 85 to 90% of the system. That, again, anyone, sports psychologist, Tyson Fury, Western boxing will tell you. It's in a huge mental toughness, mental strength, all these things, huge component of sports combat and of sports psychology and of these things. Yeah. So don't be put off by it. You've got a sleeve grip, you've got wrist control. Okay. I only ever got Uchimata once. It was good when I got it, but it's overcoming that fear, in my case, of uranagi. Yeah, which is still very hard work in progress. But honestly, you can do the no-gi grips, as I say. If you can do a goshi, anyone can do a no-gi or goshi. Honestly, anyone can. It really is directly translatable. Ippon Seoinage and Ogoshi are completely directly translatable. Yeah, and Osotogari, again, you just collar and elbow. Yeah, Irish wrestling, collar and elbow, things like that. Okay.